If this dog bites me, I swear, I will sue the entire shelter." These words slipped out of my mouth, as if they were defending themselves. I hadn't meant to scream, but my feet seemed to sink into the ground in front of kennel number 19. The dog was staring at me. There was something in his eyes that was both a warning and a question. A watchman standing nearby came towards me, his gaze full of suspicion. "He doesn't bite," he said in a very flat voice. "He's just a little different." Different. This word seemed to have stopped in the air. It neither waved nor flowed. It just stayed, between me and that dog, like an unspoken secret. I'd volunteered in enough shelters over the years to know what it meant. Different was code for no one wants him, or we've run out of ways to explain why he's still here. Inside the kennel, the dog didn't bark or even shift. He just stared. His fur was a disheveled mix of grays and browns, long around the ears and patchy elsewhere, like a mop halfway transformed into a wolf. One eye was clouded with age, the other was sharp and golden. There was something in that eye. Not fear, not hostility, maybe curiosity. I stepped a little closer. No growl, no flinch, just those eyes watching me. "What's his name?" I asked the woman. "Tag," says Reggie. "It came in like that. No chip and no history, just the name." Reggie didn't fit. He looked more like a Winston, or maybe a Duke. But I wasn't there to rename dogs. I was there because I'd told my brother I was ready to adopt again. 2 years had passed since I lost Rusty, my golden retriever. I didn't think I'd ever be ready. But people heal, or so they say. I crouched by the kennel. "Hey, Reggie," I whispered. "Nothing. Not even a tail twitch." "I'll give you a moment," the janitor said, walking away with her mop. I stayed low, studying him. He tilted his head slightly, and that's when I noticed the tag on his collar. Not a standard one, but a round brass token, aged and worn like an old coin. I squinted, leaned in closer. There was something etched on it. The woman's voice echoed from the hallway. "It's the only reason we haven't put him down." Those words hit me hard. I grabbed my phone, turned on the flashlight, and aimed it at the tag. "If you're reading this, I was loved once." A lump formed in my throat. "Come on, Reggie," I said. "Let's get you out of here." Still, he didn't move. The janitor returned with the keys. "You sure?" "Yeah," I said, eyes still on him. "He's the one." She opened the kennel. Reggie didn't charge out or cower. He simply stood, slow and creaky, and walked out like someone who knew there was no rush. The hallway was eerily quiet, even the other dogs silent. Reggie stood beside me unmoving. I reached out and rested my hand gently on his head. He didn't pull away. I felt the faintest tail wag brush against my ankle. Outside, the winter sunlight was crisp and unforgiving. I opened the passenger door of my truck. "Up you go," I said. He looked at the seat, then at me. I smiled. "You're not heavy. I've carried heavier hearts." He climbed in like he'd done it 100 times before and curled into a ball. At home, he wandered slowly around the living room. He sniffed each corner, then found Rusty's old bed. "You can have it," I told him. Kept it clean. He circled, lay down, and let out a sigh that seemed to carry the weight of years. That night, he didn't make a sound, just slept. The next morning, I made breakfast. Reggie sat near the kitchen door, watching but not begging. "You're a polite one," I said. Day by day, he followed me from room to room, waited by the bathroom door, walked perfectly on a leash. I gave him a proper bath one morning, and beneath the grime was a coat of warm gold streaked with white. "Still not a Reggie," I muttered. The vet guessed he was around 10, maybe older. "He's been through a lot," she said. "But he's healthy as an old mutt can be." He still hadn't barked. One night, I found a tennis ball in Rusty's old toy box. I rolled it across the floor. Reggie watched it, then slowly walked over and nudged it back. I laughed. He wagged his tail. We started going to the park. One day, a toddler dropped an ice cream cone and started crying. Reggie walked over, sat in front of the kid, and gently licked the spilled ice cream off the ground. The child stopped crying. His mom smiled. "He's got good manners. He's got a good heart," I replied. That night, I turned over the brass tag again. If you're reading this, I was loved once. You still are, I whispered. He rested his head on my foot. The next morning, I called the shelter and paid for 3 senior dog adoptions in Reggie's honor. Because someone once loved him enough to leave that message, I said, "And now, it's my turn." The woman on the line paused. "We just got a 12-year-old beagle in. No name. There was no name on his collar, no tag. Like nobody had ever called him. Do you think someone will come?" I asked myself. "I hope so," I said softly. "I really do." If this story touched you, let it reach someone who needs to hear it. Leave your thoughts below. And if you want to hear more stories like this, just stay here. I'll be back with another one.